Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's be completely honest for a second. We're living in a world where we are just constantly bombarded, right? Screens, pings, and absolutely overwhelming avalanche of information. We are totally hyperconnected. And in the midst of all that noise, we're going to explore something today that we usually run away from, like really run away from. We're talking about the immense, hidden, productive power of a bored mind. So let me hit you with a quick question to start us off. What do you actually do when you're just standing in a grocery store line? Like, be totally honest with yourself. Do you immediately whip out your phone to check emails you don't even care about? Because we all kind of do it, right? In our super fast-paced lives, an empty minute, whether it's in an elevator or a checkout queue, is basically treated as a full-blown crisis that requires swift, immediate digital intervention.
Okay, let's dive into this. It's what we call the crisis of the empty minute, patching over vacancy with a fresh hit of dopamine. You see, in our modern culture of constant optimization and endless scrolling, we treat boredom like a system glitch. We treat it like this uncomfortable error code in our brain that just needs to be fixed instantly with a shiny new distraction.
Section 1. Why do we fear boredom? The paradox of optimization. So why exactly do we fear it so much? Well, in our relentless, frankly exhausting quest to eradicate every single idle moment from our schedules, we're actually fighting our own biology. Seriously, we might be accidentally eliminating our mind's most essential operating system. It's this tug of war. On one side, we have our new default state, hyperconnectivity. And on the other, we have boredom. Now, we usually think of boredom as just, doing nothing. But researchers actually define it as the uncomfortable awareness of unfulfilled potential. When forced into it, our brains heavily resist. We get incredibly restless, irritable, and we desperately seek out any distraction just to make that uncomfortable awareness go away. But let's pause. Let's just slow down for a second. What happens when we actually do nothing? What happens if we just wait out that uncomfortable restlessness? Have you ever wondered what happens if we actually let the mind sit in complete stillness without instantly reaching into our pockets for a screen? Section 2. What is the DMN? The anatomy of a blank mind. To understand what happens in that stillness, we have to look at the default mode network, or DMN. Basically, this is a massively interconnected web of brain regions that activates when we shift our attention completely inward. When the external stimuli finally dry up, when the scrolling literally stops, this incredible network switches on. So it's not your brain turning off and going to sleep. No, it's your brain literally booting up a highly powerful background supercomputer. And what exactly is this supercomputer doing while you're just, say, staring blankly out a window? Well, a lot, actually. The default mode network consolidates memories. It imagines future scenarios. It processes really complex social cues. And it synthesizes seemingly unrelated ideas. It's like a giant puzzle coming together behind the scenes. Past that initial annoying barrier of distraction and irritation, there lies this profound state of subconscious processing. Active, laser-focused attention, it simply cannot replicate the deep, deep work happening right here. So if this network is biologically so powerful, here is our next big question. Who actually benefits from boredom? Like, who out there has actually used this empty space to their absolute advantage in the real world? Section 3. Where do ideas come from? The quiet engine of creativity. When we look back at history, the most profound breakthroughs almost never happen during moments of frantic overstimulation. Instead, breakthroughs arrive in the quiet spaces between effort. And this brilliantly illustrates how, when your conscious mind finally yields control and just stops trying so hard, your brain's background processes are free to keep working on unresolved problems. They bubble up incredible, completely innovative solutions when you least expect them. Take one of the greatest minds ever as proof. Albert Einstein famously attributed key aspects of his theory of relativity to, get this, daydreaming during idle periods. Right? Those massive serendipitous insights didn't hit him while he was frantically distracted by 100 different inputs. No, they arrived during moments of profound stillness when his default mode network was allowed to just freely connect the dots. Or consider J.K. Rowling. She actually envisioned the entire narrative structure of Harry Potter while she was stuck on a massively delayed, super crowded train. And crucially, she didn't have any reading material with her. She couldn't distract herself, she just had to sit there. Being forced into that stillness, completely without external input, sparked this immense creative synthesis. Her brain went to work entirely on its own. Which naturally leads us to the most practical, actionable question of this entire explainer. How do we get our boredom back? How do we actively reclaim this incredible cognitive superpower in a modern world that is literally engineered to steal our attention every single waking second? Section 4. How do we reclaim restlessness? Protecting cognitive bandwidth. Now, I want to reassure you right out of the gate. Reclaiming this doesn't mean throwing your smartphone into a river and moving off-grid to a cabin in the woods. But constantly soothing our boredom with high-octane stimulation weakens our actual biological tolerance for quiet. It heavily dulls our long-term focus, and it severely limits our creative resilience. So the crucial point is, we absolutely have to reverse this dulling effect by carving out small, intentional spaces of non-engagement right in our normal, everyday lives. So let's look at exactly how to start doing that today. Number 1, embrace low-stimulus transit. Just resist that really powerful urge to pull out your phone or listen to a podcast on short walks, daily commutes, or while you're waiting in that grocery store line. Number 2, schedule idle time. Build deliberate 15-minute windows into your week with absolutely zero planned agenda or input. Just sit. And number 3, reframe the discomfort. When you start feeling bored, treat it not as a sign of wasted time, but as an open, welcoming invitation for your brain to recalibrate and reset itself. Boredom is not the enemy of productivity. It is its quiet precursor. Empty moments are absolutely not a punishment to endure. By granting ourselves the permission to actually experience those blank spaces, we unlock a deep, inventive capacity that's been hiding right beneath the silence the whole time. So I'm going to leave you with one final question to ponder today. What brilliant idea is hiding in your next empty minute? The next time you find yourself with absolutely nothing to do, I challenge you to just do nothing. Let that default mode network boot up and see what incredible things happen. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.